Joining us on the panel is Jeffrey Bomai. He's the chairman of the Free Papua Movement. While we have this discussion, of course, going on, we respect the sovereignty of the nation of Indonesia in that sense. We're looking at the peaceful protest that's been planned to take place tomorrow by the West Papua Campaign PNG chapter here in Port Moresby. The protest in a way of a march or a walk from Konedobu, starting at 9 o'clock in the morning and come right through on Porapona Highway through to Jack Pedic Park, and where the formalities will take place there. The chairman of the Free Papua Movement, Jeffrey Bomai, is here. Jeffrey, so you'll be in the march tomorrow as well?
Yes, of course.
You'll be there,
Yes.
and I'm sure you'll be carrying your banners and your placards and your posters and so forth, calling back the racist comments that were made, I suppose, in a way. But time you play Kamantaplo, Jack Pedic Park, where the formalities will take place, I'm hoping, or you're anticipating, that both Governor Jufan Paus Paku by Kisim Disla petition and will facilitate with the Indonesian embassy. Is that right?
Yes. We all aware about the situation. We team up. We join with the Free West Papua Campaign PNG chapter, and I'm as a Free Papua Movement as a parent of Free Papua movement struggle. We join up with that team, and then we raise same aspirations, same issue about stigmatization of Indonesia. They're saying West Papua as a monkey. Our concern here, Indonesia say to West Papua as a monkey. It's not only West Papua, but it's saying to all entire Melanesian and Pacific. So we need to raise up that issue, because we are not monkey. We are a creation of the God. So Indonesians have to responsibility about that statement. So it's not something small, but it's a big thing for Melanesian and Pacific. That our concern. So we support Governor Jufa and Post Pakop to raise that issue, and then Indonesia must come out clear and then say about what the reason they say to West Papua, Melanesian or Pacific as a monkey, or black people in the world as a monkey. Why they say it? Because it's not one time, but normally they have stigma. They have thinking as a West Papua. It's not like human being.
Tell me, as the chairman, and maybe Fred, you can come to story to click along the peaceful programs you have trying to address these issues back at home here in PNG. I know you're very respectful for both countries as well in that context, but you have ongoing activities, meetings among your fellow men here in PNG?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Problem me start long place now. Also na mi plato bay no ina plombay look tasol sim. Mi bay no plolarim. All people blow me long hap all by kissing time. Because me start lo time long duga first time. Also mol amigo na go bagarapi mol people blow me long duga. After this la finish now, also only protest now. Igolo protest now, also this la kain talk mi kama pol se mi pla ol monkey this la also make him all people blong. Mi pla ino hamamas long this la. Na gavana blow mi pla tu pla gavana one time tu pla no one bell. Gavana blow Papua na gavana blow West Papua. Tupla one time, tupla no one bell on this pla. All calling me pla monkey. Na tupla like him also all monkey student long Java must come back long Papua long West Papua. Kisi all come back long West Papua. Na all line long all Javanese long West Papua, all Indonesia long West Papua too must go back long Indonesia. This flat as well, emotion problem may come up now, emotion me plus start long mobilize long here. Emotion me plus Free West Papua campaign, Union for Free West Papua, also me plus boom one time na me plus campaign.
Yeah. And you are taking sidelaw this campaign, you are taking it in every diplomatic means as possible, diplomatically trying to address this amicably, along peaceful means.
Yes.
Yeah. And so because your call goes across the Pacific as well, and there's been that discussion in the Pacific Islands Forum. What's the support like from your point of view? Can I don't know, Jeffrey, if you can,
Yes, of course. All entire Pacific, including government, Prime Minister, and some parliamentarian, they support our cause right now. So like this movement is a implication of the something been hide and then and been stopped, some kind emotional, some kind intimidation, discrimination, and all kind of things been stopped, build up long time, and then time all police officer and army officer in Jakarta say monkey to all student in Surabaya, and something build up long time and come out. So you saw that situation in Papua. Governor for Papua, Lucas Enembe, and West Papua, Barnabas Mandachan, they already to left the uniform of Indonesia. Even all army and all police from West Papua, they join Indonesia, they ready to left uniform. Because that situation now, this movement now we trying to support them is not only in organized by the Free Papua campaign in PNG chapter, but also in Netherlands, and then in East Timor, and then Australia, and then inside country, all entire world that support that. Because racism is an enemy of the democracy, enemy of the liberation, enemy of the human right.
Yeah. All right, we'll go for another commercial break. And that sentiments, of course, they're just calling for the withdrawal of those statements or these discrimination, as they feel it's discriminating, of course, in that sense, or racist comments that were branded on West Papuans. And that peaceful protest tomorrow again is to highlight the issue and to call for the recall of that comment, I suppose. And I'm hoping that an amicable solution, and of course with some renowned politicians, including the governor for NCD, the Honorable Paul Sparkup, and Gary Juffa, who will be amidst this peaceful protest or peaceful parade and rally of West Papuan friends here, who will be taking the city streets up to Jack Piddick Park. The official part to take place here, I would imagine around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock or so at the Jack Piddick Park, where the formalities will include the handing over of the petition, and we're anticipating that both governors with the Office of Foreign Affairs will of course facilitate that with the Indonesian Embassy. Be back in a moment. With friends from West Papua here in PNG, of course, they're organizing a peaceful parade or rally tomorrow from 9 o'clock in the morning. They start out of Konedobu and should end up here on Port Moresby Highway down to Jack Piddick Park. On the panel, of course, Fred Mambrasa, West Papua Campaign PNG Chapter Coordinator. Jeffrey Boma is the Chairman of the Free Papua Movement, and Ken Mondiai, wearing a different hat today, is the President of the Social Democratic Party, the party with the political head, the Honorable Paul Sparkup. And the two governors, the Honorable Gary Juffa and Paul Sparkup, will be with this parade tomorrow. Can you probably just give us an idea of what it would be like here at Jack Piddick Park when you start the peaceful rally from Konedobu?
Yes, the Office of Governor plus Electoral Office and the Free Papua Campaign have already sought the approvals for the peaceful march to show solidarity and support to the West Papuan Melanesian people of the issues that's happening, that has been the focus on the social media. And the NCDC has allowed for 10 of the buses to go to all the locations around the city to bring all the people that want to be part of the peaceful march, to bring them into the stadium at Konedobu. And from there the march will then proceed. So I think the police have already given the authorization to have one lane from Konidobu up to the roundabout in Gordons, the SP Brody roundabout, and then proceeding to Jack Pedic Park. One lane, the left lane, I think has been allowed for the peaceful protest march. The convoy of vehicles and all the people marching behind the banners coming into Jack Pedic Park. So that's been allowed for. So the programs that will take place at Jack Pedic Park, I will allow Fred and the team to then elaborate on that.
Yeah, no worries. While we do that, of course, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Governor for the NCD, Honorable Paul Sparkum. Governor, good morning to you. How are you, by the way?
Good morning, Douglas, and good morning to all the listeners around the country.
Thank you so much for making time available. So this is absolutely happening. It's a peaceful, we'd like to re-echo that, it's a peaceful rally or a parade that's going to take place tomorrow.
Yes, it's not a protest march, it's a solidarity march. That's the difference. We are not protesting to the Indonesian embassy or the Indonesian government. We are showing solidarity and support to our people who are facing very difficult times in West Papua. And this is the time for us, Papua New Guineans, fellow Melanesians, immediate neighbor, some our relatives. We have got relatives across the border. It's our time for us to stand up and be counted and make a difference and to show support to our people on the other side. It's very important. So, as Governor of our capital city, I am fully supporting this initiative with all the different campaign committees like PNG Union for Free West Papua, the Free West Papua campaign PNG, our people from West Papua here, Jeffrey and the team. And I'm extending the call to our people in the city to come out. We need to come out. We need to, show empathy and show, our concern about what is happening out there. It's not just about West Papuans carrying this burden on their own. It's also about who we are as a people, as a nation. What values do we stand for? What values do we uphold? Can we continue to remain silent, not see, not talk? After all these years, after 58 years, what does that make us as a nation, and as a people? So it is time that Papua New Guinea, we must stand up.
Yeah. Governor, sir, we sort of about wrapping up, but thank you so much. Really acknowledge your presence here. But very quickly, I mean, in the essence of all of this, what's the how do you suppose you're going to facilitate this in terms of diplomatically tying it up with the Indonesian embassy? Is there a representation from the other side, or how is that going to work?
I think the committee, they have extended an invitation to the ambassador. He's a new ambassador. I have not met him yet, but I would be happy to escort him to come and give the side of Indonesian government. Because, the campaign is not against Indonesian people. We don't seek any hatred or any harm on the Indonesian people. We just want our people to be free, to be able to live in peace in our region and with Indonesia. And, for me, as a person who has been, campaigning for the rights of our people for my entire life, I want to say this, that if Indonesia is courageous enough, brave enough, and not fear the future, and allow our people to be free, the future will be greater than it is now. This is the message that I want to extend to the ambassador and the Indonesian government and the Indonesian people. And I'm ready to go to Jakarta anytime. I've stated so many times, to pass this message on to our Indonesian people and especially the leadership. Let's not fear the future. Fear has prevented us from having a better future, a peaceful future and a harmonious future. Fear has only breed, discrimination, violence, death, rape, murder. So if we continue to live in fear, PNG, Indonesia, Australia, everybody allow fear to dictate our policy and dictate how we address this issue, we will never solve the problem. So I'm ready to extend invitation to and I think the invitation has gone out. I'm not sure the ambassador will come, but at this time we are not protesting yet against the Indonesian government. That must be another step that we'll take. Now it's a solidarity march. Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly hit this time call, and I'll keep you for just a minute or so, Governor, and of course the rest of the panel here, if you don't mind. And we're going to wrap this up because I've got the other guests coming on. But very quickly.
Number one super time call now is 11 a.m. We care for your future.
All right, and of course my discussions here, Governor, very quickly, and so we speak to you also as a political head of the nation's capital, of course, and for the country as well.
Yes.
In that front, the discussions and how that's going to get into our parliament, is that something that you're also looking at? I recognize the governor for Northern as well, the Honorable Gary Jufa, and becoming vocal a bit more on the floor of parliament.
Yes, Governor Jufa and I and other MPs, we are very strong on this. We are pushing it. We might not be very visible in the public, but we are pushing it in the government, especially in government caucus and one-on-one. I have met the Prime Minister, Honorable James Marabe, and had a discussion with him and encouraging him the same encouragement that I've just stated to our people, that it's time for us to be fearless, to be bold, and to think about solution. So I've intimated in the many discussions that we have at the political level. I recently went with Benny Wenda to Solomon Island as well. We met with the Prime Minister Songobare and Opposition Leader Matthew Wale. Very good dialogue, same message we pass on to them, and we are ready to carry the same message to the Australia, New Zealand, to Fiji, and to the United States, and to Europe, and of course also to Indonesia. Indonesia has to be part of the solution. They cannot continue to be just the problem. They have to be part of the solution. So in any dialogue and any equation, we must include Indonesia. And so I'm ready, as I said, to go to Jakarta. I've been there in 2013. It was good with President Yudhoyono, very constructive. Yudhoyono, he put the issue on the table. He stated very clearly that these people might be Indonesian citizens, but they are your people. This is what he intimated to our Prime Minister then, Peter O'Neill. So it was a basis for constructive dialogue. Now we have a new president. The dialogue probably has not been robust, but no reason why we cannot advance it further, because for the future, PNG, West Papua, Indonesia will always be neighbors. We will be here forever. So we must solve this problem so that we can move forward to achieve peace and harmony and build a robust region for the future.
While we say that, of course, in a couple of words, Governor, and I'll have to let it go here, we respect in the strongest terms, of course, the sovereignty of Indonesia as well.
Yes, we respect the sovereignty of Indonesia, but this is a problem that Indonesia created. And it is giving rise to moral, political, legal, physical, refugee issues that we cannot ignore. And human rights should not be limited by sovereignty. Moral, political issues should not be limited by sovereignty. In fact, it's a global issue. It was the United Nations that was party to this. So it's always from the beginning an international dimension. And the United Nations got it wrong in 1969. Indonesia got it wrong. And because they got it wrong from the beginning, now, it cannot be right. They have to go back to the beginning to correct it. And the law at that time, let me simplify it very clearly, Douglas. In 1969, the law says for referendum, one person, one vote. In 1969, only selected 1,026 people were selected to vote. That's not in accordance with international law. So Indonesia cannot use the excuse of sovereignty to deny international community to ever say. Because in the beginning, they went to the international community to legitimize their fake vote. So we have the right to, raise this at the international level. Also, as neighbors, it affects us. Look at Jeffrey here. He could walk around here just like anybody. He's got relatives here, relatives on the other side. We all have relatives on the other side. So it's our issue as well. We cannot, we respect Indonesian sovereignty, but this issue is beyond sovereignty. And we want to maintain in the long term a good relationship with Indonesia, because we will forever be neighbors. But right now, we don't have a good relationship. So let's solve it.
We'll let it go here, but of course you'll be at the walk tomorrow as well, like you always do. Yeah,
absolutely. Governor for Oro, Honorable Gary Juffa, extends apology today because he's, I think, got malaria or something. But absolutely, if he's feeling well tomorrow, he'll be there, and we'll both raise the issue in Parliament at the occasion at the appropriate time when it's necessary. But the dialogue is still continuing with the government. I'm very happy with the government now supporting the resolution of the sponsored by the Vanuatu government at
the Pacific Islands Forum.
So that's a good step, and I want to thank the Prime Minister, Honorable James Marape, and the team, and it's a good sign.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so. I wish we had. Well, we started quite late, in fact, on this one. But thank you so, Governor. Thank you so much for coming. Nice to see you again.
My apologies.
Now you're looking healthy, handsome too, as well. And this walk's actually making you more healthy and live a little bit longer. Really, thank you so much for dropping by.
All right.
There you go. The Honourable, of course, Paul Sparkup, Governor for the NCD, and of course I acknowledge the Governor for Northern as well, the Honourable Gary Juffa. On the panel, of course, Jeffrey Boma is the chairman of the Free Papua Movement. Ken Mondia wearing a few hats again today. Today, of course, the president of the Social Democratic Party, around which some of the Constitution, of course, looks at the welfare of our Wantoks on the other side of the border as well. And, of course, somebody who doesn't need it much introduction, but a good friend of mine, Fred Mambrasa, West Papua Campaign PNG Chapter Coordinator as well. I'm looking out for a few more tracks and music coming from Fred, perhaps in the future. But, gentlemen, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time, and all the best. There you go. All right, there you go. And as for